Welcome to this Executive Explainer. Now, if you're a CIO, CDO, or enterprise leader, you're overseeing more data today than ever before. Literally mountains of it. But let's be real for a second. Possessing all that data and actually extracting operational value from it, well, those are two entirely different capabilities. Today, we're going to examine a massive systemic issue in modern enterprise architecture. We're going to look at why brilliant insights so frequently fail to translate into automated decisions and exactly how the world's leading institutions are closing this execution gap.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've got a highly structured briefing for you today covering 5 key areas. First, we'll look at the data execution gap. Second, the missing architecture layer. Third, the decision intelligence opportunity. Fourth, we'll walk through 4 steps to execution. And finally, we'll map out the future enterprise AI stack.
All right, starting right off with part 1, the data execution gap. This is all about data volume versus decision velocity. Get a load of this number, $1.3 trillion. That is what global banking generated in net income in 2025. Massive, right? Yet despite this enormous capital advantage, the markets are heavily discounting the long-term tech capabilities of these very institutions. And the primary reason? It's simply because data availability is not translating into decision velocity. Having huge volumes of data just doesn't equal value if you can't execute rapidly. To put that into perspective, banks are allocating roughly 6 to 12% of their entire technology budgets to data initiatives. We're talking funding expansive storage, huge data lake projects, the whole shebang. However, the measurable return on that investment frequently just stalls out at the dashboard phase. It literally never reaches tangible operational action. And that leads us to a really painful operational failure. 73%. Nearly 3/4 of AI projects completely fail to deliver their expected business value. Think about that. Your predictive models might be mathematically perfect, but if they remain disconnected from the core day-to-day systems of the business, their actual utility is fundamentally capped.
Compounding all of this, 80% of financial institutions report that they cannot access the right data fast enough to make critical decisions. Whether you're in credit, risk, or trading, high latency means a direct loss of your competitive edge. The data exists, for sure, but the access is just way too slow to actually operationalize.
So where exactly is this stalling out? That brings us to part 2, the missing architecture layer. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how clearly it exposes the disconnect. Looking at a standard 3-layer enterprise data architecture, layer 1 is the data layer. Enterprises are great at this. They successfully build the warehouses and data lakes. Layer 2 is the insight layer, which houses all those analytics and BI dashboards. But layer 3, the decision layer, this is where automation and real-time business actions actually happen. And this is the crucial layer that the vast majority of enterprises completely skip, effectively stranding all their expensive investments back at layer 2.
There is a brilliant philosophy that captures this perfectly. Most enterprises stop at insights. Leaders build decision engines. Think about it. A dashboard is inherently passive. It just sits there, waiting for manual human interpretation. But a decision engine, that is active. It's automatically executing outcomes based on real-time insights, right when they happen. Which is the perfect transition into part 3, the decision intelligence opportunity, moving from passive insight to active execution. The difference in architectural philosophy here is practically night and day. The old legacy approach relies heavily on passive dashboards, meaning millions of dollars in data investments result in static reporting with zero immediate action. But the new standard, it's all about automated workflows. AI-generated insights automatically trigger predefined business actions, totally removing that slow, manual human bottleneck. This modern standard really rests on 3 core pillars. First, faster decisions. We're talking reducing latency from days down to seconds. Second, automated workflows, which embeds AI to completely eliminate clunky manual handoffs. And third, connected actions, ensuring that every single actionable insight actually triggers an outcome. Pioneers like Standard Bank, Nubank, and Revolut, they haven't just piloted this stuff, they've hardwired these pillars deep into their credit approval and fraud detection operations so they can scale instantly without just adding more headcount.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? Part 4, 4 steps to execution. This is how you connect data to action. Consider this your chronological playbook. Step 1, measure latency. You've got to identify precisely where your decisions are stalling out today. Step 2, map decisions. Prioritize those high-impact operational moments instead of trying to boil the ocean with a massive enterprise-wide rollout. Step 3, find AI opportunities by isolating repeatable decision patterns.
And finally, build decision intelligence architecture. This means physically wiring your data pipeline straight into your execution layer.
And that leads us to our final segment today, Part 5, the Future Enterprise AI Stack.
And this brilliantly illustrates what a premium, modern organizational infrastructure actually looks like. It's a comprehensive, AI-ready enterprise. We are moving way beyond isolated AI models here. This requires a fully interconnected ecosystem where data just flows seamlessly, from foundational storage, right up through the intelligence layers, and directly into your operational execution systems.
To pull this off, the stack requires 5 synchronized elements. You need a trusted data foundation for unified governance, real-time analytics for streaming intelligence, AI models for your predictive capabilities, decision automation for rules and triggers, and crucially, absolutely crucially, the business execution layer. This final piece is the connective tissue. It's the only way to ensure your predictive models are actually altering reality on the ground. I want to leave you with this incredibly powerful thought. The future belongs to organizations that reduce the distance between insight and action. Take a hard look at your own organization's data pipelines today. Are you genuinely engineering automated decision engines, or are you just investing millions of dollars to generate slightly faster dashboards? Closing this execution gap isn't just an IT project. It is the definitive competitive advantage of the next decade. Thank you so much for joining this explainer.